Welcome to ZKast, everyone. I'm Z.S. Caravallo from ZK Research, and I'm here in person at Enterprise Connect 2024, the communications industry's largest show. We just watched the keynotes. I'm here with Joe Berger from Worldwide Technology and Simon Kruger from Worldwide Technology as well. Joe, just a quick bio on what your remit is at Worldwide.
Yeah, so I run the digital group here for Worldwide. So everything collab, contact center, end user computing, anything that's really customer or employee experience related kind of falls within our group.
Yeah, that's a big world. And,
it is.
And Simon?
Yeah, and I cover the contact center, omnichannel, and CPaaS for Worldwide.
Okay. Now, we just saw the keynotes, right? And there was a lot of AI in there.
Lots of AI, yeah.
And there's lots of AI at the show. In fact, NVIDIA's event was last week. There was lots of AI there. So we're really hitting AI hard now.
It's a theme, yeah.
But in reality, when you think about AI, what I've noticed from customers is that everyone's got, thoughts of AI, but very few companies actually have a plan of how to execute it. What are you seeing in AI?
We're seeing a lot of the same. Everyone's getting the board initiative to go enable it, but they're not really sure where to start. So what we're really doing right now is helping customers identify those use cases, right? Like, where's the low-hanging fruit that they can go test it out, create the pilot group, get some users to really see if it does everything it says it does.
It's a good point. It's actually what we've been doing with our ATC at Worldwide, is actually bringing in our customers and showing and demoing AI and how we can proof of concept it inside their use case scenarios.
Yeah, so I'm going to stick with you, Simon.
Yeah,
so
go ahead.
Since you are Mr. Contact Center here, that's been one of the areas there's been the most interest in AI. I think just because it has customer experience implications. And there's two sides to this contact center coin for AI. One's agent facing, one's customer facing. What are you seeing customers doing with AI specifically in the contact center?
Our customers are actually doing both, as you're saying. But we've seen a bit of an acceleration of in the customer experience side. It's got more avenues, more channels of attack for them, and they're using a lot of AI to give that better customer experience. And then obviously you saw today, even in some of the keynotes today, about agent assist, how that's actually empowering the agents. So it's at both sides, but again, it's point solutions across all of the platforms.
And how's that impacted? You give me back to Simon. How's that impacted the agent? Do you think? I know there's a lot of fear at first that it might take agent jobs and stuff, but from my view, it actually makes the agent better.
I think it's actually up-leveled and upskilled some of the agents. It gives the agents more time. You even just saw now in the last keynote where they actually were saying where they can give the agent, where they can take sentiment and know from if the agent's under stress. So you can take them out of that stressful environment to give them a break or whatever it takes. So they're actually, it's actually better for the agent at that moment, yeah.
And how about you, Joe, from an employee perspective? There's, again, lots of things you could do with AI. Microsoft had Copilot for a while, WebEx with WebEx Assistant, right? Where are you seeing some traction?
We're seeing a lot of customers starting to kick the tires on Copilot, for sure. I think that's probably everyone's sort of foot in the door into AI for the employees, just because it's a little bit easier to turn on. And it's already...
And the downside risk is lower, obviously.
And the downside risk is lower. It's not as customized, but it's already in the applications that they're using.
Yeah.
And so I think it's really around turning it on, but also you have to train the employees on how to use it, what are the right benefits to using it, how's it going to improve their day. So I think everyone's starting to feel it out, but Microsoft just announced the integration with Salesforce. They showed some new ways to kind of get meeting recaps and turn it into more graphs. So I think they're showing more reasons to use it and some more uniqueness to it that's starting to come out, and I think it's starting to gain traction.
And the thing that I like about the Salesforce integration and some of those apps is what I think the world doesn't need is to have an AI agent for this application.
Correct.
And an AI agent for this application.
It's becoming AI into everything, and it really has to be, what is my main AI that I'm going to interact with that might interact with the other tools that I'm using.
But I played with the tools too, and it really is remarkable. Like one of the things I like about the WebEx AI Assistant is the catch-up feature, where you sit down and there's no work to be done there. There's no training needed. You just sit down and it says you missed 10 minutes of the meeting and here's what was said, right?
Yeah,
so
it's a great feature set. Yeah,
that's pretty interesting stuff. So other than the keynotes we saw in AI, what else are you hoping to get out of the show?
You know what? It's just always great to see all of our partners here, run into the analysts as well. we like to keep an eye on what's up and coming too. So there's a lot of startups and a lot of new industry players coming here trying to disrupt the industry. And I think it's always great to just know what's going on. This way we can take that back to, put it in our labs, our AI proving ground, as well as take it out to our customers and explain, here's what we're seeing in the industry and here's what we think the next evolution that's going to be.
Yeah, and what is that?
It's going to be AI for the foreseeable future, for sure, yeah.
Yeah. Now, Simon, since you're, I want to come back to contact center question here. There's been a lot of, industry chatter over the years about UC and CC coming together.
Yeah.
And that's really been slow to take off. And in fact, if you look at all the market leaders in contact center, none of them really have UC. Yeah. But I do think that when you're working off that back-end common data set of UC, CC, and so are you seeing any movement in that?
Absolutely seeing that. Actually, again, quite a few of the vendors that are here today are actually showing that integration and that link between the UC and the CC. And actually, AI spearheaded that. I know we keep reiterating that, but it's actually how we're taking some of the AI in the UC and bringing it over into CC to empower the conversation and the experience.
Yeah, well, that's and I think something badly needed. And again, same question that I asked Joe. What are some of the things you're looking for here at the show?
Again, it's been a fantastic show. It always is at Enterprise Connect. Again, it's having that personal time with our vendors and our partners has been really, really solid for me this time round, for sure. And also I'm here to learn as well, see who's in the marketplace, who's making the difference.
And since both of you talk to a lot of customers and have worked through some deployments, just for people watching, if they're thinking about their AI strategy, what's a couple of pieces of advice you'd give them as to how to move forward? Because I do think, again, I was talking with a CIO last week who said AI has now entered every conversation I have with everybody, from operations to sales to customer experience. But he also knows that he can't deploy AI everywhere all at once, right? And so how do you get started? Like what are some good tips?
So we took it as again we've seen a lot of point solutions with AI. Apologies.
You're all choked up over AI.
But with that we've actually. So in our own, we have a deepfake voice security lab where we're actually hoping to bring a lot of our customers inside there to show them how we can use AI and our ATC in security of voice calls. Again, it's a point solution, very unique, very, very marketable in the space right now.
I really like that solution as well. So, and Joe, I guess you got final word. A couple of pieces of advice for customers.
The one thing that we're finding, to your point, every customer has got an AI initiative and they've got 75 use cases they've identified.
That's a lot of use cases.
Because it's everywhere, right? Yeah. And so it's understanding like what are the top use cases that have a good return on them, and then building out those case studies and those pilot groups and testing it and figuring out, is it working, training the end users. But starting with those identified use cases, I think is, the easiest way to get into it.
Yeah, and I do think one mistake companies make too is when they start playing with AI, for some reason, when it's AI, everybody thinks it should be perfect.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of time to get to learn it.
But it does get better over time. And I've always said, even with recommendations and things, generally the computers are now better than people, like as far as mistakes go. And so that's your threshold, right? It's not waiting for perfection. Yeah. People make a lot of mistakes. AI makes less of them, and it gets
and keep training it. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Anything else you want to add?
Glad to be here. Back in Orlando.
So it's a great show. A lot of people here, a lot of energy. So on behalf of Simon Kruger, Joe Berger from Worldwide Technology, I'm Zeus Caravalis, and thanks for watching. Please hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time on my next episode of ZKast.